There's a special opera that reminds people to look beyond race and nationality. Perhaps it can help mend worsening ties between Korea and Japan. Bo-kyoung reports.
1945. That was a huge year in Korea's history, the year of its liberation from Japan. It is also the name of an opera taking place at Seoul Arts Center on Friday and Saturday. The opera 1945 has been adapted from a play of the same name as part of efforts to mark the 100th anniversary of Korea's March 1st independence movement and the establishment of Korea's provisional government. But rather than just looking at the big themes of liberation and independence, the opera's writer focused on the stories of people living through that moment in history.
Instead of describing the year 1945 with just a few words and ideological and political events, I tried to look into the people who actually had to live through that time.
The opera is set in a refugee camp for Joseon people in Changchun, China. Two main protagonists, Mitsuko and Buni, both suffered as comfort women, and even though they have different nationalities, they are close friends as they shared their painful memories. Being pregnant, Mitsuko wishes to start a new life in Joseon, and Buni lies about Mitsuko, telling people in the camp that Mitsuko is her mute sister. But as they are about to board a train that goes to Joseon, people find out the truth about Mitsuko.
The scene where Buni and Mizuko couldn't leave the place even when the train comes is the most impressive and tragic because despite their wishes, they couldn't leave.
Buni eventually stays with Mitsuko as the train for her homeland disappears into the distance, showing a strong bond formed between so-called enemies. This opera doesn't just tell the touching story of these two characters. It gives us a chance to think about how we can resolve the current relationship between Korea and Japan.
Conscious citizens of both countries eventually will have to pursue coexistence and acknowledge we are living in this world together.
This human drama leaves its audience with the message that people should look beyond the narrow definition of race and nationality and rather show empathy toward anyone who has suffered from an oppression. Bo-kyoung, Arirang News.